All right. Well, we've got a good crowd on. I'm going to go ahead and get started with today's webinar. The point of our 30 on Thursdays quick hit webinar series is really to address something we heard from a lot of our clients, a lot of our friends. I'm hearing it from my marketing peers and almost every industry, and that's just this fatigue over long Zoom meetings, long webinars. So what we've done is we've packaged up a series of 6 topics, and we are going to just do quick hits. We're going to get right into the information here today, give you 15 minutes of solid content and ideas, leave some time for questions, but we'll have you out of here in 30 minutes. So just really trying to simplify how we're getting you the information and make sure that your time is well spent. We all have a little bit of Zoom and online meeting fatigue these days. So want to go ahead and do a quick thank you to our sponsors. We have some great webinar sponsors this year. Heat and Glow and Moen are 2 outstanding partners that work with us on our Envision Online Design Center, and also just across a ton of different initiatives here at BDX. So 2 brands that we're all familiar with in the building industry and want to give them a shout out and a thank you for supporting our webinars this year. Okay, so we're going to jump right in. And normally during our webinars, you see us do like a setup and a tee up and some information and some stats. We're going to kind of skip that part today. This was meant to be kind of get right into it, quick hit topic. And we're going to talk about 5 quick ideas for virtual tours. So our team of experts has kind of gathered some of our favorite ideas and kind of inspiration around virtual tours, and we want to share that with you today. And I get the pleasure of bringing you that information that kind of everybody else has worked to collect. All right. I do want to point out you have a chat box on your screen, and you have a Q&A box on your screen as well. And while we are trying to get through the information here, I don't want to miss anything. If you guys have questions or need need anything, go ahead and use that chat box and that Q&A box. I've saved some time at the end of the presentation so that even in this brief 30 minutes, we can still get your questions in and get them answered. So use that chat box, use the Q&A box, and keep this interactive for me. Thank you. All right, our first topic is going to be make the most of Matterports. Almost every builder has, if you have a spec or a model or you've built a custom home, you have a Matterport tour of the home. It's just kind of a baseline marketing piece that everybody has these days, and we shoot a ton of them across the country for builders. Our Matterport team has been busier than ever this year. But what I see a lot is just a really basic Matterport tour. And what I want to focus on today is taking that tour to the next level and making sure you're really taking advantage of all the features that can be part of your Matterport tour. And so the first thing we're going to talk about is adding Matter tags to tell a story. So Matter tags, and I'm going to kind of toggle between my presentation here and some live examples, but Matter tags are really awesome. And you can see here, this is one of the Matterport tours we've done. And throughout the tour, we've added Matterport tags to highlight these different features within this home. And so you can see, you can add these basic tags that call out different features with an image and text. But you can also do something really cool by including video. So you'll see this is an advanced Matter, and this is showing a quick little video about these motorized shades here, and it's giving the shoppers, kind of a little glimpse at some of the products within a home. These Matter tags don't have to be related to products. You can use the tags to tell a story as someone's touring through the home. If you wanted to have a tag that just explained kind of the design aesthetic of the kitchen, for example, you could include that. So including Matter tags is something I don't see a ton of builders doing, but I really think in terms of upping the ante on a tour experience, it it really does a great job of kind of adding that extra bit and that extra element of information. The next thing I want to point out with regard to your Matterport tours is virtual staging a Matterport tour. So this is a Matterport tour, and what I'll do here is I'll show you, this is kind of that bird's eye view, and you can see this is an empty house. So what our team has done is we've actually virtually staged the Matterport. Now, most of you are probably familiar with virtually staging photographs. That's kind of a common thing to do. If you have a photograph of an empty room, you virtually stage it in a variety of different styles, etc. But a lot of people don't know you can actually virtually stage a Matterport. So you'll see here, we've come in and we've put furniture and accessories in this Matterport tour so that you really get an idea of what the home is going to look like once it's furnished, once it's got, you know, all of the styling done to it. And it's just a cool way to take, you know, kind of an empty tour and sorry, I started measuring something apparently. Take an empty tour and really make it look more like a finished home and give people online a really different and nice experience. All right, so the next, so we talked about Matter tags, we've talked about virtual staging for empty Matterport models, and I'm going to jump right into just a list here. And these are things that when you do your Matterport with BDX, these are kind of different add-ons and different things we can do with the tour. But you know, just make sure the point of this first tip is you've got this Matterport tour, and you're creating more of them if you're building more, and make sure you're really leveraging all the features and different ways you can use it. Did you know you can actually have like a guided Matterport tour that's a kind of smooth action video walkthrough of your Matterport tour? That could be another great piece of content for your website, for, you know, your marketing, emails, etc. So, you know, just keep these things in mind. And if you work with BDX, hopefully our team is reminding you of these different things, and use them to make your Matterports, you know, more than just kind of that basic walkthrough. All right, and reminder, we have that chat box open. So you guys, I see a couple of questions coming in, and what I'm going to do to keep us on track, I'm going to save the questions to the end. So, but don't stop asking them. I will get to everything. So thank you. Okay, our second point and tip here is virtual walkthroughs can be produced quicker and less expensively than ever before. We get this all the time when we start talking about doing virtual walkthroughs for things that are not built yet, right? So you've got your Matterport tours. If you have something, a built property that's already constructed, that the camera can go in and do the Matterport tour. But if it's not built yet, if it's just a plan, you know, doing a virtual walkthrough has kind of had this stigma of taking a really long time and being really expensive. And that's really not the case anymore. And so we're going to look at a couple of examples today of these and just show, and then I'll give you some ballpark pricing. I can't price out your specific instance, but I will, you know, just kind of dispel that myth that that the virtual walkthrough has to be expensive. So this is just kind of your basic virtual walkthrough here. It's taking you through the key rooms in the house, letting you jump from room to room. And remember, this is all rendered and animated. It's, you know, this is built from CAD drawings and preference selections on materials. But these virtual walkthroughs, they serve a lot of the same purposes a Matterport does for a built home. It lets you kind of go from room to room, look around, see things from all the different angles and perspectives, and you know, and really get an idea spatially of what that home looks like. It's one thing to look at a floor plan, but it's another thing to kind of be able to really visualize the space, see what it looks like from different points of view, and navigate around the home, and jump in and see how different things look. So when we're talking about these kinds of virtual walkthroughs, there's a lot of different flavors of them. And what I'll tell you is that I think the biggest misconception is that you have to shoot for the moon with these. We have express options that can have a first round delivered in 10 days. Our most basic option starts at under $3,000 for a virtual walkthrough. They include still images and extras along with them. And I'll say that, you know, there are advantages to elevating the experience. You know, you can have the whole home included, for example, and that's not at that $3,000 price range. That adds a little cost to that. But I don't think most people realize that you can kind of start at a really great price point and really go a long way with these virtual walkthroughs today. So wanted just to make sure that as you're considering different options and you're thinking through your marketing plan for new homes and new communities that you're launching, that this is on the table. And our team can work with you to help you decide what level is best. Do you want to show that full home? Do you need like a full library of furniture selections? Are you okay with just showing the key rooms and limited selections? And they can help you kind of guide you down that path of the best choice for you. All right, so third tip here is shoppers want to tour more than just homes. And I think we found this, especially with so many relocating buyers, so many buyers wanting to, you know, kind of visualize things and see things online at home before ever visiting your community or your homes in person. They want to see tours of, this is a great example here, this tour of the clubhouse and the kind of welcome center for this builder. And this is a great example as well, because this wasn't built yet. And, you know, a lot of times these are the last pieces of the community to kind of come together and be built, but people want to see, they're buying into the lifestyle, they're buying into the experience, they're not just buying that one home, they're buying that into that whole neighborhood. And so by creating either an animated tour or a Matterport tour of your amenity centers, you can really start to bring things to life and give them that full picture of how everything fits together in your community. And so the next two things I want to show you are two other examples of different kinds of tours that are sort of not just sticking within the sorry, my mouse is stuck here, not just sticking within the confines of your homes. You can do virtual tours of the design studio. So this is a sample of a Matterport tour of a design studio. You can do virtual tours of, I'm trying to advance this forward, of a home pre-drywall, which is really advantageous if you imagine, you know, kind of having that look inside the walls. A lot of our builders deliver these to their clients as kind of a welcome to your home gift. So if you go back and move any electrical or remember where a line was placed or where the ductwork was, they can go look at this pre-drywall Matterport and see how everything is laid out. So just a few ideas there, but I think the point is, you know, I think we always start with these tours of homes, but let's expand our thinking and think outside the box a little bit. Where else can we help our clients get the full picture? And then our fourth tip is going to be all about interactivity with our tours, and it really does make an impact. We talked about those matter tags with the Matterports, but this is an example of a room visualizer here, and what you're going to see in a second. So you're kind of seeing this is a, you know, a walkthrough. You can come and look at the room from different angles and jump around and get different vantage points. But what's really cool is you can also let people change out finishes, change out colors, and tie this all back to actual products. So these are actual cabinet colors, cabinet styles that you're seeing changed out here. These are going to be actual countertop granite colors that are available. And this type of addition to a tour really starts to engage shoppers. It can be a really great lead gen tool that you can use. And you can even incorporate these visualizers into your online design center so it becomes part of that experience as well. So interactivity, people love to ideate. We're used to doing it with cars. We've built, we've gone online and built cars this way, customized them for ourselves for years. And it's just a great way to explore a home and start personalizing it as well. And then our last section here, and I told you guys we're going to go fast, but hopefully we're getting right to the point with these ideas, and we're just giving you some good things to walk away with. But my biggest piece of advice is no matter what kind of tours you have, no matter how many you have, don't hide them. I see so many builders have amazing content and it is hidden and relegated to like a tiny link on a detailed listing page on their website. And so we've put together a list of ideas for sharing your virtual tours. So some things to think about so that, you're not leaving the shopper having to dig through page and page, deep into your website to find a tour. I recommend, you can take a tour and create like a short video of it and put it on autoplay on your homepage. I've seen some builders do that. It's just super engaging. It gets people excited. The movement attracts attention. There are so many great ways just to put that content front and center. And I know like you have tours for all of your different plans and in all of your different models, but it's okay to just focus on one and highlight it and then link off to maybe a gallery of all of your other tours as well. So I know some people like, but that doesn't represent all my homes, but the point here is just to showcase your work and showcase and get people inspired and excited. So also make this the main content on your website. Detail pages, I see, like I said, so many pages about a specific plan even. And the virtual tour is just kind of like this little hidden, like it's almost like you're trying to hide it on the page. It's a hidden link at the bottom or a little button. Why not showcase that front and center? That's really going to be what gets people excited more than reading a bunch of text and more than maybe looking at a static floor plan. Think about how you're merchandising your virtual tours on your site. Highlight them in your email campaigns. So put a link in your signature. You can have your salespeople put a link to your hottest tour in their signature. You can run nurture programs with tours included. And then of course, just dedicated email blasts. You can do that as well. Include virtual tours with your parade of homes entry, even if it's already built. Most parades now are having a virtual component. And so you can include that Matterport link and you can help remote shoppers experience the tour as well, not just the folks that are there in person. We are getting back to in-person events. And so these virtual tours, whatever the flavor, are great at home shows to let people who are in a big room full of all these vendors, they can come up to your booth or your table if you have one and view your tours right there, and then get them further down the path of coming to visit you in person. Use as a follow-up tool once people have left your sales center. So as soon as they walk out the door, what if they got a link to the virtual tour so they could go back and look at it at their convenience as they're in that consideration phase. Use these post-contract to keep buyers engaged while they wait for design appointments. This is something we're hearing a ton right now. How do my buyer sign their contract, but I have a wait until they can start designing their home and have that design appointment? How do I keep them engaged along the way there? And wouldn't it be great if you could send them some virtual tour content just to remind them, keep them excited about the purchase they've made and ease them into that design appointment. Create reels and shorts to play on your social media. So maybe kind of navigate through a snippet of the tour and capture that for social media. use as part of a retargeting campaign on your website. And then make sure that you are including your virtual tours as part of the content that you're sending as with your syndicated listings. So when you list your homes on New Home Source, for example, we want to have all of your best content to showcase to people. So make sure you're not leaving these out. And, you know, I'd love to hear from you guys. I'm seeing some questions come into me. Thank you. I will get to those, but I'd love to hear from you guys. You know, do you think you're doing a good job with your virtual tours and merchandising them across all of your channels, or is there room for improvement here? Just wanting to understand, you know, kind of where we are with folks. And I'm just going by my, you know, I probably visit, you know, a dozen builder websites a week, just looking at different things and getting ideas and seeing what our clients are doing. And you know, these are some trends I'm seeing. I'm really not seeing a ton of people merchandising these as well as they could be. And you know, you're taking the time and you've made the investment in these visual content assets. Let's go ahead and put them front and center. All right, well, that is our little quick hit on virtual tours, some ideas to get you thinking. We do have these webinars coming up every week. So next week's topic is all about the Google search SEO changes and what that means for home builders. And I want to go ahead and open it up for questions right now. I had a couple come in early, so I'm going to go and look at those, but I want to encourage you, there's a Q&A box and there's a chat box there on your screen. You can use either one. I'm monitoring both here. So, and let me know if you have any additional questions. All right, so Rebecca is asking, can I add Matter tags to an existing Matterport tour? And the answer is yes, we do this for our BDX Matterports with our clients all the time. You can go back and add those Matter tags, those advanced Matter tags, remember, have the video that can play in there, and you can go back and add that to your Matterport tour. Okay, so next question that came in was can you explain the different levels of virtual walkthroughs? And I kind of glossed over this a little bit. The biggest differences are how many rooms do you want to showcase in your virtual walkthrough, or if you're okay with just the key rooms, that's a different level than if you want that whole home walkthrough experience. So remember, these are the virtual walkthroughs that are built from CAD drawings and that are rendered out. They don't exist in real life. So you can choose to do just a few key rooms. I think we have 5 key rooms that we include in our basic packages, or you can do that whole home experience. And a lot of builders want that as well. The other things that make a difference here are how you want to select your furniture, how customized you want to be with your furniture selections and styling. That affects the level as well. And then there's some other kind of bells and whistles, adding those visualizers like we looked at, things like that can also be included. So those are kind of the different levels and different ways to think about it. We actually have a really cool infographic on our Learning Hub, Builder University, where we walk you through how do you select which kind of tour is right for you, and it asks you a series of questions along the way. So I'll make sure to shoot that out to you guys after the webinar so that you have that. It's a nice little guide just to get you thinking of, you know, what's important to you, what do you absolutely need to have in your tour versus, you know, what is, what can you leave off to begin. All right, so next question is I'm going to paraphrase this question. I'm trying to read it here and kind of summarize it for you, but how do you use visualizers to generate leads? And so I mentioned in that one slide, I think this came in my slide where I talked about using visualizers as lead gen content. There's a couple different ways you can do that, and we see builders doing this, kind of getting creative with this. But one way is just simply, when someone wants to save their selections or save their choices, you can have that be a lead capture and a lead generator. A lot of our clients are using visualizers within their online design center in pre-sales mode. And we know that using that as a lead gen tool, just having that online design center in general on your website as a pre-sale lead gen tool is highly effective. Those leads convert at insane rates, and they lead to these incredible engagement numbers. So we know that including these visualizers in an online design center and using that as a way to generate leads. Other people gate the content at the front. That's not something I recommend to do, lightly. I'm a proponent of leaving the content open and then giving them something special if they want to register or save their selections, and that's how you grab the leads. So hopefully that answers your question there, Debbie. Hope I captured it correctly and answered the question. All right, so a lot of questions coming in about pricing on different things, and we've got 4 minutes, so I'm not gonna try to run down pricing on everything, but I'll say if there's something specific that you're interested in, and I'm seeing the notes here for several of you that are, I'll have someone follow up with you after the webinar today. But, I think the big theme is that everything's gotten just so much more affordable and attainable and at a quality level that really is incredible. So don't hesitate to reach out and ask, virtually staging a Matterport tour, that depends on the size of the home and furniture selections, all kinds of other things. But and I know you guys have questions, always have questions about pricing, and kind of want to get right to the point. But I don't think I'd do it justice if I tried to price things right here on the webinar. So we are at 11:27, and I don't see any additional questions come in, and I do want to be respectful of your time and let you guys go at the half hour here. This was kind of our commitment with this webinar series. The point of them is to not wear you out with a bunch of online information and Zoom calls. We know you're already doing a ton of that still today, but just bring you the basics here and get you on your way to kind of upping your game in these different areas. So make sure you'll see the link come around soon for our week 2 webinar, all about Google's SEO changes that are forthcoming, and register for that. And you can see all the other topics here as well. So if you go to Builder University, you can find registration for all the future topics and go ahead and get lined up for those. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Bye.